Hey guys, this is the King of Weebs here. Please go subscribe to my friend Miniman and Retreat. They are a real big help to me. Also, I want you guys to go follow me on Twitter and uh, join my Discord tomorrow on my Discord channel. On Discord server, I will open up a channel for Q&As, so basic questions, and I will answer them on the 11th because the channel will be open from the 8th to the 10th. And on Twitter, you can just tweet me or you can DM me your questions, and I will be answering them one by one in a video. Anyways, let's get right into it. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is a what if I have started a long time ago. Like when I first started, it was my first ever what if, to be honest, and I will be finally continuing it because I did put a really high like goal for no reason when I had 0 subscribers, 10 likes. So today I will be continuing it, and so this is what if Naruto was insane, part 2. Well, I shouldn't say was, I should just change the name of the what if, but I guess since I started it like this, I'll continue it. It was meant to be what if Naruto went insane, but it's fine. So last time we left off with, if you guys don't know what this is, just go all the way to my oldest video, and that will be the first part. So last time we left off with Naruto basically attacking Zabuza, who laughing, saying finally someone who gives me a challenge, and basically the Nine Tails is influencing Naruto at the same time as Naruto is trying to attack. Naruto uses his kunai, and then I'll say I don't think I gave him a sword last time, but I'll say that he has a sword, and basically he pulls out. You already know where I usually put the sword for Naruto. So basically on the back of the waist. So he gets it out and literally slices Zabuza, and Zabuza is actually impressed by this kid, and then and he can see that the kid's insane. Well, Naruto's insane, and he's like, "Hey kid, you must have been through rough times, haven't you? Since you're just like me now." Because Zabuza did have to go through a lot of bad things to become insane like he is right now, and Naruto's like, bad things. That's not even a word that can describe what I've been through. And Zabuza's like, "Oh really? So I see you've been through much worse. What have you done to deserve this, huh?" And then Naruto's like, "I am the Nine Tails of Jinchuriki. If I die, the leaf has no protection. After all, they just want to use me as a tool, as a weapon." And Sakura and Sasuke are confused on what does he mean, and they ask Kakashi, and Kakashi is getting ready to fight. He's like, "I can't let Naruto fight. I need to put him down and, well, knock him out." So he goes up to Naruto, gets behind him, and then out of nowhere, well, Zabuza appears behind Naruto, and he literally swings his sword onto Kakashi. Kakashi dodges and is like, "How about you don't get in our way? I want to talk to this kid." And Zabuza is trying to basically see what Naruto's past was like, and because he's liking Naruto's attitude, well, aggressive just like him, and he feels like, he says he can relate to him, and he believes Naruto and him can relate, and it's like, "You get in the way and I will kill you, Kakashi of the Sharingan." And Sasuke is now even more confused. Sakura didn't really hear that, but Sasuke did because he's much closer to the fight. And then Zabuza basically does a water style jutsu. He says, "Water style, great water wall," and there's a massive water wall, so no one can get through. And he's talking to Naruto, he's asking him questions, and Naruto, "Aren't we meant to fight?" And then he attacks Zabuza again, and then Zabuza literally breaks his sword, takes the kunai out of his hand, throws his sword up in the air, and he has Naruto on the ground with the kunai on at his throat, and the sword lands right next to Naruto, and he's like, and Naruto realizes that he has no chance against Zabuza, and he realizes how weak he is, and he's getting angry at this, but he has to accept the fact that he already lost, and he's like, alright, I'll answer your questions, go on, you. And not and Zabuza's like, "Ooh, finally, you freak." And Naruto's like, don't call me freak, you bastard. And then Zabuza's like, alright, so tell me your story, kid. And then Naruto tells him all the things that he did, and Zabuza kind of feels bad for the kid because uh, Naruto's been through more things than him and Haku put together, and he realizes that if that was any other random 12-year-old kid, they would be already dead. They would just commit suicide. And then Zabuza's like, how about you join me, Naruto Uzumaki? I mean, your village doesn't care about you. Who else would? And Naruto's like, you're just going to try to kill me, aren't you? And then Zabuza's like, even if I am going to try to kill you, didn't you say even if you die? Didn't you say even if you died, it would be a good thing, not only for the villagers, but even you, because then they wouldn't have the Nine Tails' protection, even though the Nine Tails wouldn't even try to protect them. And now Naruto says, you got a point. So he's like, alright, but how do I leave my team? And then Zabuza's like, I leave a clone and you leave one clone, and we'll fake that basically I beat you and threw you into the woods, and then Kakashi is going to feel safe. And Naruto makes a clone, and then he's like, alright, actually make a substitution. And Naruto basically makes a clone with a log in it. So basically, bro, don't ask me how. So basically Zabuza Zabuza's water wolf falls down as soon as Kakashi does a water shockwave, because he just did the shockwave on the wall and the wall just collapsed. And then he sees Naruto fighting and basically under the grip of Zabuza, and then Naruto just breaks out of it, and he thinks, wow, Naruto's actually pretty strong. And then he's like, no, I need to get him out of there. And then Zabuza literally grabs him by the throat and basically punches him 3 times on the stomach, and then throws him into the woods. And Kakashi's relieved that Naruto is basically out of the fight, so now he can fight properly. So Kakashi actually beats the clone in like a minute or two of fighting, and then the water clone just becomes water again, and Kakashi realizes what happened, and he goes towards Naruto, well, the clone, and he realizes it was just a substitution. Naruto must have escaped. Well, Zabuza must have escaped with Naruto. Naruto's laughing at this because he was watching from the woods, and Zabuza's like, shut up, kid, let's go. And then Haku appears and says, this must be that kid. I guess he's joining us, Zabuza. And Zabuza is like, yes, this kid has potential. And Naruto says, I'll come back to kill them one day. Every single one of them. And there you go off. And Kakashi is completely basically Zabuza gave up on the mission of killing killing Tazuna, and he's like, before we go, I need to do something. And let's just say he goes to Gato and kills every single one of his men and him, and he says, you deserve that, bastard. And then basically before they went, Zabuza, Haku and Naruto went to the village that Kakashi and the others went, and Naruto saw them, and Kakashi did notice them and said, there he is. And he was about to attack him till Zabuza threw Gato on the floor, and they escaped again, and a note basically was dropped, and then Kakashi caught it, and he said, it was written by Naruto. Naruto said, thank you for everything that you did, Kakashi sensei, but I'll be going with Zabuza now, and I will come back one day to the leaf, and that day is going to be the day the leaf gets destroyed, and every single one of you die. And Kakashi is completely utterly shocked by this, and he realizes that this is not Naruto's fault, this is not Zabuza's fault, this is all because of the villagers' hate towards Naruto, and how Naruto has changed in the past. So Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke head off to the village because they need to, and since Gato is dead, Tazuna allows them, so they go off. And Naruto does still hate the village, and he basically, all he can feel is hate, and he is kind of insane. He only cares about killing every single one of them, and he likes killing. He always has a smile on his face, but inside, Naruto suffers every time he actually kills someone, and the Nine Tails knows that, and is kind of feeling bad for Naruto, but he hates humans too much to even help out Naruto, even though he's feeling bad. So now Naruto is basically training with Zabuza and Haku, and Haku and Zabuza find out his chakra nature transformation, and Naruto's like, wow, that must be really cool. And he keeps training, and also, so Naruto is now it's been like let's say a few days. Naruto has arrived in the little cottage Haku and Zabuza were hiding in, well, living in. And while he was training, Haku found out that Naruto had three chakra releases already, and Naruto's like, wow, I knew it. I'm mad. And he basically, and then Naruto's like, well, tell me which ones. And Haku's like, well, since one of them became wet, one of the chakra papers became wet, you have water release. One of them split in two, so you have wind release, and the other one crumbled, well, not crumbled, basically scrapped up, so it was like scrap paper, you know, when you crunch it up, you crunched up, so it was lightning release. And Naruto's like, all really good releases. And Haku's like, yeah, and I have water and wind release, and Zabuza has the same ones, so we can teach you a lot on those, but I'm not sure about lightning release. We'll have to get you scrolls from other villages. And Naruto's and Naruto like, isn't it dangerous to go and attack a different village? And so Haku's like, no, not really. You could just buy scrolls as well, but we'd rather not waste money. And then Zabuza walks in and says, so this kid has 3 releases, more than both of us. And Haku's like, yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. And Zabuza's like, so I believe we should teach him right now the water shockwave and all the moves that I use. And they started teaching him. Naruto, in a week, he learned the water shockwave, the wind gale palm, and I'll say he knows how to make water clones. And since he knows how to the fundamentals of the water clone, he tried it with the with lightning style on his own, and he knows the lightning clone. And also he knows how to add releases to his to his blade. So if he adds water release, so if he adds wind release, he can slice the air and make an air slice. If he's water release, he can make water needles just by swinging his little sword. So now, well, he can also, I forgot to tell you, he can use lightning release on his sword as well, so he can just paralyze enemies. But now we have to cover what happens in the leaf right now. So we go back a few days. So Kakashi and his team arrived in, let's say, 2 days, and that's and there are 5 more days to cover. So Kakashi straight up says to his team, anyways, I'll see you later. And he goes straight to the Hokage. And remember, since they didn't have that week break for Kakashi to rest up, since Kakashi never really fought, they will have 3 weeks before the Chunin exams. And let's say Sasuke is like, what the hell just happened? Why did Naruto straight up leave? What a traitor. It's just like my brother. And he just walks off and says that loser's probably gonna die with them one day. And Sakura just says, you're right, Sasuke. He wasn't even needed in our team. We're way better than him. We don't need him. And then Sasuke says, don't follow me. You're even worse than a loser. And that kind of hits hard on Sakura, and that, and she says, "Oh, Sasuke, you're just complimenting me. You're just shy," and she keeps following him, and Kakashi literally, oh sorry, Kakashi literally body flickers into the Hokage's office, and not without even knocking. And the Hokage was talking to team 10 about their next mission, since they still have a week before the tuning exams, and they were about to do a D rank mission again, until Kakashi comes in and says, "Oh, sorry, did I disturb anything?" But and they're like, "We were just about to get our mission," and Kakashi's like, "This is more urgent than just the D rank mission. I'm sorry, but could you guys come back in a bit?" And the Photokage understands that this is really important. If Kakashi returned from his mission so quick, and he has he's sweating and everything, since his team did have to come back really quick and really fast. I'll say it takes like 4 days, I think, to get to the land of waves or whatever. And he says, "Okay, team 10, come back in 2 hours and I'll give you your mission. It is pretty early in the morning." And they're like, "Alright." So they will come back around like 9, since it's like 7 o'clock. Kakashi's team arrive, no, let's say they will come back around 11, since it's 9 o'clock. And basically Kakashi tells him, "Third Hokage, Naruto, it's Naruto." And the third Hokage understands that this must be important if Kakashi did this all for Naruto. And he's like, we basically, what happened is that the C rank mission that we got turned out to be a B rank, and we kept going with it, and midway through it we thought we were going to get to the land of waves without any trouble. Well, we got to the land of waves and we thought we weren't going to have any more trouble after the two demon brothers who were tuning, and Naruto disposed of them with Sasuke. But Zabuza of the Mist came and he attacked us. Naruto tried to fight him, but then basically he escaped with Zabuza. I believe this is because he hates the village. I didn't tell you this last time, but when I asked him for his dreams, he said, "My dream is the worst. My dream is to destroy the village and kill every single one of the villagers." And I thought he was just joking around, and I told him that he's weak, and apparently he trained and he was actually really strong, but he wasn't as strong as Zabuza, and Zabuza convinced him to join him and leave the village and start fighting for him. And we went to Tazuna's village, since we had to continue the mission as we are shinobi. And then basically we saw that the Zabuza threw down the man that was terrorizing the bridge builders village, and then Naruto was with them, and he ran away with them. I tried to stop him, but I was too slow. And then the Photokage is like, "It's fine, Kakashi, I will find Naruto myself." And the third Hokage is like, "I'll make a clone. I will make an announcement to the Leaf Elders, and I will call. We will have to postpone the tuning exams." And then the third Hokage writes a letter and basically ties up to let's say a falcon. You know those falcons that give messages from village to village. So he straps it to it and he says, "Go find Jiraiya and give him this letter." And in like 3 days he gets to Jiraiya, and Jiraiya sees what happened, reads what happened, and he's really worried about Naruto. So he immediately starts heading back, and he arrives in the village in a day and a half. And the third Hokage says, "Me, you, and a few other Jonin, Kakashi and Guy will be going to find Naruto in the land of waves." And they go off, and basically once they arrive, they find Naruto really fast thanks to Kakashi's ninja hound dogs, and also because of the shadow clones the third Hokage and Jiraiya made to make the search faster. And they found him in the cottage. Basically one of Kakashi's hound dogs, ninja hound dogs, found that dog that led Naruto and Sakura and the others to Sasuke and Gaara. The same one found Naruto training, and Naruto noticed it, but he didn't really pay attention to it. Well, let's say he didn't notice it because the hound dog was basically ran away, but he did notice something moving in the leaves. But then he shrugged off as thinking it was just wind. And once basically they were told, the third Hokage, Kakashi, Might Guy, and Jiraiya all appear in front of Naruto, and Naruto uh, is startled by this, and he jumps back and says wind style, wind slicer, and basically he gets his sword out because of battle instinct that he has basically gained over this training, this past week and a half of training with Zabuza and Haku. And then they all dodge because they realize if they get hit by that, they can feel the chakra, and they realize if they get hit, but they don't know this technique, so they don't want to get hit by it. And then the third Hokage basically immobilizes Naruto and says, Naruto, you're coming back to the village. And Naruto's like, why should I go back to a village that hates me? Why should I? Huh? You guys have never done anything good for me. I tried my best, but look what happened. Look what I've turned out because of those damn villages. Let me go. And basically then Naruto was getting angrier and angrier till he let out some of the Nine Tails' chakra, and he was so angry that he let out two tails already. And Jiraiya realized that he had to strengthen the seal on Naruto, but he basically gets a chakra sealing tag, and he's about to put on Naruto until Zabuza appears with Haku. Haku throws needles, and Jiraiya notices, so he has to jump back. And basically Haku puts a chakra sealing tag on Naruto because they had them in case Naruto went on a rampage. Let's say if the Nine Tails tried to take over him with his anger, and then Zabuza's like, we need to escape, we'll never beat them. And he basically makes, let's say, 16 water clones, and they escape. And Haku leaves basically Zabuza, and then Zabuza says great water wall, and then behind that Haku says basically freezes the wall, and he makes it even bigger, so they can't really go through. They have to jump really high, which is kind of impossible, except for well, unless they use a little boost at the beginning. It's possible because it's so tall that they can barely see. It kind of gets to the clouds, but not right there. And so Zabuza and Naruto and Haku escape, and Naruto wakes up and he realizes that he's being carried by on Zabuza's back, and he's like, thank you guys. And Zabuza's like, you're one of us now, Naruto. We're not going to let them take you. And that's where I'm going to end it off for part 1 of what if part 2 of what if Naruto was insane. I know this is a bit all over the place, but this what if was made a month and a half ago in fact, and I'm kind of not used to making this kind of well, I haven't listened to the what if. I went off of memory because I did have a script. I read it, but the script wasn't that good, not as good as the script that I used to do. Basically, I had it on my phone and I wrote on my phone, so it wasn't that good. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please stay safe, take care, and also I've seen that you guys are 2 likes away from hitting the like goal of the what if Naruto left the village. I will upload the next part as soon as you hit 115 likes, and also the like goal for the next part for this what if, for the next part for this what if to come out is, let's say, no, not 100, 35. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Please take care, stay safe, and peace.